In news from Jamaica, the Ministry of Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change is desperately trying to fix the country's water shortages, brought on by harsh drought conditions which are predicted to last beyond the summer months. Minister with the portfolio Robert Pickersgill is refuting claims that his ministry and the National Water Commission have been doing nothing while the drought wreaks havoc on water supplies across the island. As Jamaica's farmers continue to voice their plight of water shying away from their produce, the Water Ministry is promising a reprieve. Speaking at a press briefing recently, Robert Pickersgill, Minister of Water, Land, Environment and Climate Change, says his team is fast-tracking negotiations with the National Irrigation Commission to review the management of water supply sources for domestic consumption and irrigation. The minister says 4 units from the National Water Commission (NWC) have been designated to truck water to farmers in the southern region of the island affected by the drought. This, Mr. Pickersgill says, is just one way the NWC is mitigating the drought impact.
One major way in which we are addressing the challenges we face is by tackling the vexed problem of non-revenue water, which is simply water that is lost to leaks or is stolen, or for which no income can be generated. The NWC has embarked on a major non-revenue water reduction program to significantly reduce losses in Kingston and St. Andrew at a cost of more than 5 billion Jamaican dollars. And I need not mention here that some of the pipes are 50 or 60 years old.
That agreement, he says, he hopes to sign within a few days. In the meantime, the NWC is repairing an average of 3,500 leaks per month and is replacing old leaking structures across the island.
These include repairs to the Great River and Martha Brae water treatment plant at a cost of 320 million Jamaican dollars, which will serve to increase the reliability of supply and water quality assurance, as well as the expansion of the Martha Brae water treatment plant at a cost of 1.64 billion Jamaican dollars, which has resulted in an increased supply to northern parishes from St. Ann to Westmoreland. 2. The refurbishment of the Bogue water treatment plant at a cost of $560 million, which was aimed at increasing the reliability of supply as well as water quality assurance to the constituencies of Northeast St. Ann, Western and Central St. Mary. 3. The replacement of segment 2 of the Rakoba pipeline between Content District and Ferry in St. Catherine at a cost of 3 billion Jamaican dollars to benefit the majority of constituencies in the Kingston metropolitan area and many constituencies in St. Catherine. 4. The Lucy 6-kilometer transmission pipeline in eastern Hanover, western Hanover, and western Westmoreland at a cost of 1 billion Jamaican dollars.
According to the minister, these updates were provided as proof that the Water Ministry and the NWC were not sitting idly as the drought rages, as has been purported by detractors. And as far as recycling water is concerned, the National Irrigation Commission (NIC) and the Central Wastewater Treatment Company (CWTC) are in discussions for a water swap initiative.
Through this initiative, the CWTC would treat its water to a particular standard, and this treated water will be given to the NIC for irrigation purposes in exchange for the NIC's raw surface water, which will be treated and put into the system by the NWC.
Meanwhile, the National Water Commission (NWC) is reviewing a comprehensive investment plan which will be finalized to address recurring water shortages.
These include the possibility of damming of the Rakoba to provide an additional 50 million gallons per day to the Kingston metropolitan area and St. Catherine. However, these are early days yet. In addition, the National Water Commission and the Water Resources Authority will be exploring the feasibility of distributing water from the northwestern parishes in areas such as Rabuena, in Trelawney, and Bogue in St. Ann to areas of need in the southern and eastern sections of the island.
Rainwater harvesting is being championed as an integral part of the country's water security efforts for the long term.
Under the catchment tank rehabilitation and rainwater harvesting program, the Rural Water Supply Limited has refurbished 112 catchment tanks at a cost of over 100 million Jamaican dollars since the start of the program in 2012. These catchment tanks are benefiting some 35,000 people, or I should say customers, in several parishes. For the 2014-2015 financial year alone, a total of 41 million Jamaican dollars was expended to rehabilitate 35 catchment tanks in Manchester, St. Elizabeth, St. Anne, Clarendon, and Westmoreland.
Households with tanks that have fallen into disrepair are being urged to repair them, but the minister says he can't promise assistance in that regard. Additionally, the water sector policy and implementation plans, as well as the rural water development strategy, are nearing completion and will be tabled in Parliament soon.